Alright guys, I got everything finished on the video, worked out. Let's do a quick auditory recording over it. Okay, I may end up just letting this thing play out by itself without audio, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. Okay, if this is going too fast, pause the video. Okay, don't just let it run off with you. Pause it, take a look at it. Okay, make sure you're understanding what you're doing. Hopefully you have already gone through and worked it out and you're just checking yourself. I have done every problem on the homework tonight. Okay, all right, let's take a look. All right, we've got f plus g of x. That's going to be 4x plus 8 plus 2x minus 12. We're going to combine like terms. That gives us 6x minus 4. My domain for a linear equation is all real numbers. Then I've got 4x plus 8 minus 2 minus 12. Distribute that negative. Okay, that gives you negative 2 plus 12. Combine like terms. That gives you 2x plus 20. The domain is all real numbers. I actually made some pretty good infinity symbols on this one. Okay, let's redo that one. Okay, so f times g, we did the Punnett squares here. So we put the first equation down the side, the second equation across the top. We multiplied rows by columns, and we combined like terms. That is a quadratic equation, and it gave us a domain of all real numbers. F divided by g, let me slow this down just a little bit. F divided by g. Now, we're going to factor out the greatest common factor for our numerator and our denominator. Now, actually, if I factored out a 4 on the top, I would have to redistribute, so I'm just going to factor out a 2. Okay, because then that, as you can see, reduces out for both my equations. That ends up leaving me with 2x plus 4 over x minus 6. Okay, x minus 6 is my denominator, so it can't equal 0. The number that would cause that to be 0 would be 6. So my denominator is all real numbers except 6. Alright, do a few more of these. Okay, I'm going to let the the number 5 and number 6 play through pretty quickly. Okay. Pause this if you need to take a look at it. Distributed there. Okay. Now, that was an 2x cubed. Remember, cubic functions also have all real numbers in their domain. Now, f divided by g. X plus 2 and 2x squared don't have any common factors between the two of them, so we just leave that the way it is. There is no reducing. It's already in reduced form. So, what would make my denominator equals 0? 0 would. So, it's all real numbers except 0. Okay? Reverse it, we end up with 2x squared over x plus 2. Set that denominator equal to 0, and what causes that to be 0 is negative 2. So my domain is all real numbers except negative 2. Alright, here comes our composition of functions. Okay. Alright, my first one is, let's slow this down a little bit. Goff, g of f of x, which x is 4. Remember, we start at the right and go to the left. Remember that? Okay, so I'm going to put my x first. See, x first, and then my f of x, and then my g of x. Okay, x is 4, f of x is x minus 2, g of x is x squared. Okay, so 4 for x gives me 4 minus 2. That gives me 2. 2 squared gives me 4. Number 10 is fog of -1. So it's x and then g of x and then f of x. So -1 will be my x. My g of x will be x squared. My f of x is x minus 2. So I plug my -1 in for x and I get 1. Add 1 in for x and I get -1. Number 11, g of f of -3. Okay, remember x goes first, f of x, and then g of x. Okay, so we've got x minus 2 for f of x, x squared for g of x, -3, so that gives me a -5. -5 squared is 25. Okay, I'm going to let these kind of play through also. Okay, fog of -5, so I've got g of x first and then f of x. My f of x is 3x, my g of x is x plus 2 squared. So g of x plus 2 squared. F of x is 3 times x. Okay, -5 plus 2 is 3. A -3 squared is 9 times 3 is 27. Okay, I'm going to let these just play out without doing audio over number 13 and 14. Pause them if you need to. All right. All right, here we go. This is our this is kind of what we were talking about with the car. Which one was better to take, the discount before or after the rebate? Okay, for our discount A, f of x, we're going to end up with f of x is equal to 0.85x. B is g of x, which is our rebate. Okay. And it looks like I wrote g of x not correctly on my B. Let me fix that. Okay, so we're going to come in here. I'm going to erase this. I'm going to fix that to where that's the right thing. It reads right. My rebate is x minus 1,000. That's the equation that represents the price after the rebate. I do apologize for writing that incorrectly. I do have it correct on C. So now let's let them continue on. Okay, C is applying the discount first. D is applying the rebate first. If I apply the discount first, I pay $1,430. If I apply the rebate first, I pay $1,450. $1,445. Let's try that again. $14,000. $450. I think I said that wrong a while ago. 14,300 was C. 14,450 was D. E said, which one will the dealer want to apply first? The dealer wants to apply the rebate first because he makes more money. In fact, he made $150 more. Okay? All right, let's look at some more compositions. Oh, no, this is the error analysis. Error analysis, it said that your friend said the domain did not include 0. Well, we took our denominator, set it equal to 0. We ended up with x was equal to 2. So our domain is actually x is equal to all real numbers except -2. So your friend wasn't correct. Okay, let's take a look. All right, more compositions. These have some equations written out. Okay, let me slow this down a little bit. We've got f of g of 2, so I've got x, then g of x, then f of x. Okay, my g of x is x plus 1 over 2. F of x is 2x squared minus 3. I plug in, I plug 2 in. 2 plus 1 is 3, divided by 2 is 3/2. I take 3/2, I plug it into the x for x squared. I multiply 3/2 times 3/2, that gives me 9 over 4. I multiply 9 over 4 by 2, that gives me 18 over 4 minus 3. 18 over 4 is the same as 4.5, 4.5. I subtract my 3 and I get 1.5. And that was really fast. I talked really fast on that one. So slow that down and take a look at that one again, okay? Maybe back it up a little bit. Okay, we've got g of f of x here. So we've got the f of x first, and then the g of x. I'm going to let that play through. Okay, and then the number 19, some of y'all were kind of thrown off by this. F of x. So we're just going to apply the f of x twice. Okay, so plug that in. -1 for x. -1 squared is 1 times 2 is 2 minus 3 is -1. Plug in -1 again and it runs through the process and we still get -1. Alright, last problem. Okay, bookstore, applying the coupon or the discount first. The coupon is going to give us an equation of x minus 4. The discount, an equation of 0.9x. X is equal to 2 times 8, or 16. Okay, we're going to apply the coupon first in the first one, then the discount first in the second one. Okay, 16 is our x. Coupon is x minus 4. That gives us 12 times 0.9. I pay $10.80 if I apply the coupon first. If I do the discount first, I take my 16 times 0.9. That gives me 14.4. I subtract my coupon and I pay $10.40. So you save 40 cents by applying the discount first. All right, that's it, guys. Have a great night. I'm going to play bingo, so y'all enjoy doing your homework, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.